Aloha, y'all. It's a little dark today. Rainy for the past 2 days here in Costa Rica. Today is Freya's Day, Friday. Freya's Day, hence the name. The 4th of March. The sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Aries, Mercury is in Aquarius, Venus and Mars are in Capricorn conjunct, Jupiter's in Pisces conjunct the sun. Saturn is in Aquarius, conjunct Mercury, loosely. Not loosely, it's 3 degrees. Uranus is in Taurus. Neptune's in Pisces. Pluto is in Capricorn, conjunct Venus and Mars, and the North Node is in Taurus. So today is a Vishuddha or throat chakra day. I don't know how easy or difficult it is to see this because my camera makes this look very difficult to see. So hopefully you can see this, but it is a throat chakra day, and what it means is as follows. I got to read it like this because it's so dark. I'll try to do it so y'all can kind of see what. You know what? I might have to turn on a flashlight or use a light. All good. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. This is, like I said, the throat chakra. Its keywords are knowledge, health, and decisiveness. Positive attributes are loyal, trustworthy, tactful, and calm. Negative aspects are unfaithful, untrustworthy, self-righteous, and cold. The mantra is HAM, H-A-M. The spiritual activities are chanting, silence, retreats, fasting, yoga, dance, qigong, and tai chi. Essential oils are blue chamomile, gardenia, and ylang ylang. Ylang ylang, I think it's said. If you're chanting, it's the musical key of G. The crystals are turquoise, blue agate, and aquamarine. And the soul lesson is expressing divine will. So, throat chakra day, HAM. Get in there, do the thing. Let's see what kind of cards we have today. I have been getting more than 8 hours of sleep, but it's been really intense dreams. Last night I woke up and talked to my fiance for about an hour or so, maybe less, at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. So interrupted, intense dream sleep. Hopefully all are doing well. I know the world is a kind of crazy stage right now. All the world's a stage, but sometimes the drama is a little more intense in the 1 act, 2 act, 3 act play. Like, what act is this? And the card we have for today is the Queen of Swords. Interesting. So, let me just put this down and go forward. Queen of Swords. There's an owl signifying kind of an Athenan theme. It is so much darker in here today without the sun that I might have to use the light again. I'm trying to work with what I got. Aren't we all? Isn't that the point of life? Work with what you got, manifest what you need, leave the rest. So the Queen of Swords is as follows. Wow, it's dark. Alright, I'll try my best. I can't do both. What I might have to do is that. Which now we're getting into juggle mode. Multiple hands doing multiple things. Hopefully I don't drop this. Alright. Queen of Swords. This is the watery, the emotional, intuitive, feminine, sensitive, technically, part of air. The intellectual, the austere, the quick-witted, right? Well, my phone kind of did stop doing its thing, so I'm just going to forget that option. Sun's coming up quick enough. That's the back. The sun's coming up quick enough that I think we'll be fine. So, Queen of Swords, the watery part of air. Use the power of nature to enhance your lifestyle. A brilliant mind, penetrating intelligence, serving a noble cause, well articulated and outspoken, a wise guide. Queen of Swords, I serve a noble cause. In mythology, the Queen of Swords was often rather simplistically conceived as an ice queen. This highly intelligent, forthright, and principled woman is tied to performing the duties and obligations as a monarch. She is not afraid for heads to roll when she needs to protect her own or her kingdom's interests, but the dark tears symbolize the sadness she bears as a consequence. For she is no lover of execution nor death. To live in integrity, she would far rather build alliances with her adversaries than use brute force. She is dressed here in the Starman's samurai kimono. It represents her self-discipline, courage, independence, honor, and willingness to serve her kingdom no matter what. As head of state, she offers excellent counsel and constructive criticism with a piercing intelligence and well-earned wisdom. Here, she handles sacred medicinal plants which have co-evolved with human beings for millennia. I actually just 2 miles away, there's this really interesting, I think 16-hectare organic garden run by a family, and I'm going to have the son who's probably my age. He built his own house, stuff like that on the property. They're going to have festivals there and stuff. The point I'm rambling about this is it's all organic nature medicine. Medicine is your what you eat. Like, right? But they also have a bunch of ayahuasca vines growing out of control there. He doesn't know what to do with them. I don't know if he does ayahuasca. He just has it there. So, we have co-evolved with human beings for millennia with these plants, these medicinal plants. We use them for healing and guidance as part of our spiritual practices. We eat plants, drink their juices, ferment and distill libations from them. We consume them in 1,000 forms. While some are toxic, like the berries of nightshade, holly, and dogwood, many have proved extraordinarily valuable. Evidence of use of herbal remedies, for example, goes back 60,000 years to the burial sites in Iraq. Today, the majority of the world's population, an estimated 5 billion people, use folk medicine for both acute and chronic health conditions. And by folk medicine, that means, I eat this root and I get rid of my headache, or I eat this mushroom and I have a trip. The Queen's medicinal journeying enables her to cleanse herself of toxic thoughts and experiences, a form of spiritual cleansing to restore the mind-body connection, head with heart. Self-sufficient and perhaps a perfectionist, she is phenomenally capable, knowledgeable, and engaging, with a brilliant intellect able to penetrate into the source of a problem, whether the domain is personal, political, or corporate. Her keen intelligence quickly strips away what's not important, accurately reflecting the facts and uncovering priorities and values. In the process, she uses her own experiences to help illustrate and unmask self-defeating patterns, understand deeply on all levels the importance of a stitch in time to save 9. She applies the rigorous effectiveness with her own children, regarding it as her maternal duty to see her children grow up to be well-rounded, cultured, and highly educated ethical adults. Not always the warmest of mothers due to the heavy burdens of duty, she does bring her compassion and a deep understanding of the vicissitudes and trials of life. The Queen of Swords is a deeply committed woman, and she is deeply committed to them, contributing to their gifts and talents effectively and making a difference in the world. So the Queen of Swords, the watery part of air, use the power of nature to enhance your lifestyle, a brilliant mind, penetrating intelligence. A light just turned on next to me. Penetrating intelligence, serving a noble cause, well articulated and outspoken, a wise guide, right? So we have, I wish I had known that light was going to turn on, or else I would put up a cloth to shield me from that alternative light source. With the moon in Aries, it's like, let's get to the point emotionally. It's kind of curt. It's kind of happening action. Like, even though the swords are mental, swords are air, with all the bellicose kind of talk and all the action happening in the world. I mean, it's very resonant right now that this lady's like, I get the shit done. Heads will roll if they need to. Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. This is very much that energy where it's like, we got shit to do. We're not going to fuck around. It's time to do it. Right? So hopefully you guys can see the card. I know you could see the side of my face. It's like a Michael Jackson album cover or something. Queen. In any event, Queen of Swords. Let's go ahead and pull a clarifying card. Hopefully all are doing well today. Got restful sleep if possible. I know, like I said, I didn't. Queen of Pentacles. It's funny because the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles are the Virgo cards to me. So we got two queens, and they're both kind of like not fucking around energy. This is actually a banyan tree. So talking about using nature. It says the dryad. There's a woman in the tree. Here comes the rain. Torrential rain. I'll be working in that soon enough. Yesterday I was picking weeds along the property all day. Days before that I was lifting kind of stuff out of a house to be built. But yeah, the Queen of Pentacles is the watery part, because queens are the water feminine, the watery part of Earth. This is about nurturing yourself and the environment around you, being open to the needs of others, distributing the wealth you have equally among others, and channeling your gifts to create life, right? So both of these cards are suggesting a feminine but firm, mental and physical, material and, thought form realm of intuition, of feminine power. Doesn't even have to be like, intuition's more water. The sun being in Pisces with conjunct Jupiter. Damn, it's really coming down. The sun conjunct Jupiter in Pisces is really kind of showing us that our magic is here, but with Saturn and Mercury conjunct in Aquarius, hopefully you guys can hear me. With Saturn and Mercury conjunct Aquarius, this might be the heaviest rain I've seen yet. I'll be real. With Saturn and Mercury conjunct Aquarius, that's this energy where it's like, let's be shrewd. With Uranus and Taurus, it's about, in the North Node in Taurus, it's about creating new value, stretching your branches, creating growth and, what would be the word? Space, a safe space for everybody to thrive. Not only is she a dryad, but there's things, bugs living in her roots and birds living in her branches. But sometimes, bird in her hair, right? Bird in her branches. But sometimes we have to be more cunning and like, enough is enough, than maybe feels good. So, work being told to put on your dancing shoes. It's about having fun, but it's also about knowing the dance moves. The reason that the husband and wife, or soon to be eventually, the people in It's a Wonderful Life, Jimmy Stewart and his female counterpart, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but they took it seriously and tried to do the Charleston moves, and they didn't even know they were right on the edge of the opening. Neptune in Pisces, Jupiter and the Sun conjunct in Pisces. The floor is opening. There's chaos. There's waters below. And they're getting so close to the edge. Uranus and Taurus. Oh, my gosh. And then they finally fall in. And then what happens? Moon and Aries. Everyone's like, hell yeah, let's have fun. Let's do this. So we need to be way showers and confidently know the dance steps in order to create a community that we ourselves are thriving in. A community. It doesn't have to be a community like Woodstock community. It could be just the terrarium of being you're in every moment of every day. Let's go ahead and get some other cards. That was a quick little downpour. Jupiter and Pisces indeed. It's like, here's a bunch of water. I was thinking about that yesterday when I was just listening to Daft Punk Alive 2007, and it was raining, and I'm doing all these weeds along the fences, and I'm like, Jupiter is dolphinitely in Pisces. I'm getting wet for the past few days. It's conjunct the sun. Oh, but of course, there's an owl in that first card, right? Owl. Oh, you know what? Yeah, owl and owl. So this is about wisdom. Wisdom it doesn't just fall from trees. You have to grow deep roots. and be a part of the living world, the material world, in a very kind of nurturing, helpful way, service-oriented way. And you have to use your wits, hopefully in a receptive and, morphing, mobile way. The queens are telling us that it's time to be a strong, feminine energy in the world. Divine masculine energy is upgrading right now, and in order for that to work, we have to use wisdom, the wisdom of the feminine. Out of the void, let there be light. Feminine into masculine. Feminine precedes masculine in some weird way. The void is feminine. On page 23, wisdom. Open your eyes and see what is really there. Look for the whole truth, as you may only be seeing a part of the whole. Through experience, we can gain the wisdom to not make the same mistakes again. Develop your learning and intelligence, as education is never wasted. Negotiation is better than attack, right? This kind of feminine approach. Negotiate. Maneuver around things. Be the water that moves around the rocks. You'll get to the ocean eventually. Don't be, the earth, well, in a weird sense, don't be like the landslide that, hits a house and it kind of stops there. That's a bad example because landslides can do Laharish kind of things and go all around it. So don't think of that. I was just kind of talking from a tired place. But you see what I'm saying. It's like be water, my friend. And even though we're getting the Queen of Air and the Queen of Earth, now we're being told, the wisdom is about being fluid. And that's the watery part of air, the watery part of Earth. So that's the fluidity that we're talking about. Mythos. The Greek goddess Athena was a virgin daughter of Zeus, and it's her name that the Greeks gave to their harbor city, i.e. Athens. Beautiful, strong, refined, and very rational, Athena thoughtfully encouraged and led her human subjects and mentored her favorite heroes. The ancient Greeks loved Athena, and many complex temples were built in her honor. Her mythos states that she was born from Zeus's brow and later sat by his side in Olympus for all decision-making. A goddess with many attributes, including weaving, scholastic attainment, intelligence, philosophy, and olive oil production. We saw the dryad. It's like a woman in the trees. You can also think Athena in the olive branches. There was very little that Athena could not influence, right? Queen of wisdom. Her avatar, an owl, symbolizes her reputation for wisdom. It was said that this very modern goddess had a cool beauty, and her eyes were, quote, bright and observed everything, just as an owl would, giving her a reputation for total watchfulness. In her early form, she was also a goddess of the night, so having a nocturnal bird as an avatar, or as her avatar, makes rational sense. It was said that even as a young goddess, Athena sought out the whole truth, and so wanted to ensure that she saw all sides of a situation before she made a decision. Mercury and Saturn conjuncted Aquarius. She wanted to look at the circumspect situation and see the whole schematic before she kind of executed Moon in Aries, before she executed in a volatile way, kind of Peter in the garden chopping off the ear. That's how I look at Moon in Aries. Kind of it's like, I just react. It's like, you don't want to always do that. Sometimes you want to gather all the facts. And with the Moon the Moon in Aries with Sun and Neptune, but Sun specifically conjunct Jupiter and Pisces, we might be just like, well, I don't know how to act in this dream. What do I do? I'll just do this, and you cut off your finger. It's not even a Mercury retrograde. The only thing retrograde is technically the North Node, so we're fully direct, but it's time to use wisdom. It was said that even she knew owls had incredible vision and did not miss much, so she decided to always have an owl with her, if she could, to keep an eye out for her blind side. This way she would miss nothing and see everything, especially anything that was dark or hidden. The animal. Owls are found on every continent except for the polar caps and are normally one of the apex predators of a region. They famously have big eyes situated in the front of their heads and are mainly nocturnal. As hunters, the ability to perceive prey in low light, which is what I'm dealing with ironically, low light, or darkness is of vital importance, and these birds have evolved to do this very well. The eyes are placed within feathered facial disc that acts as a kind of capture shape to direct sound into the ears. The eyes do not move much, so the head can swivel almost 360 degrees in some species. Interestingly, a large portion of owls have an asymmetrical placement of ears, which helps them exactly pinpoint their prey. Owls are incredibly silent, both sitting and in flight. They have neck ruffles that muffle the sound of their heads turning, and their wing feathers have serrated ends that enable them to swoop down on their prey with virtually no sound whatsoever. The owl, best associated with Athens, is a little owl called Athena noctua, which was often depicted with her in artwork. These birds have quite distinctive big yellow eyes framed in startling white eyebrows. This is more of a barn owl, looks like. I'm saying that like an expert of owls. I don't know. The magic. The use of owl magic is an ancient practice. The energy is used to cultivate in cultures as diverse as ancient Greek, Roman, to Northern European and First Nations of the Americas. Use owl magic when you seek wisdom in a situation and perhaps you are not seeing the whole truth and wish to do so. Owl magic is helpful when you cannot make a decision or when you need to take a rational view of an emotionally charged situation, right? We need to be pragmatic and practical in the real world and see things fully, right? See the owl's eyes? Famous eyes? Well, we need to see things without emotional charge while still being fluid, the queen, the watery part of it. So, symbology is frontal-shaped large eyes with discs around them, Athena holding an owl, talons, the colors silver and yellow, and status, Athena nocte is of least concern, but some owls are on the endangered species list. So, never surprising, owl in this picture, owl comes up, sinks abound, but of course. Let's go ahead and get an I Ching hexagram. Tell me where you guys are watching from. I'm always fascinated. Hopefully your weather and your dreams are good. The weather here is not bad. It's just stormy weather, as you can hear. And dreams are also not bad, per se, just stormier, more active. It feels like I'm really active in the astral right now, and I do have Mars, Mercury, and 12th, so Cancer, so not terribly surprising there. We've got number 36. This guy's got a whole, it's like the storm cloud that just came over me. It's like, just dumped on my live. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. And this actually feels a little like just the situation at large. 36, eclipse of the light. Unfathomable influences gain ground and threaten the realization of your aims and plans. You have no power over them, whether it's World War III or who knows what, right? The power you have, and I should say Black Moon Lilith, which is like chart because it's in Gemini, 25, 26 degrees. Right now I think 25. My sun is at 26, Gemini. It's causing me to probably have very disrupted sleep and disrupted thoughts. The power you have is over yourself. Don't let yourself be swayed from your goals. Stand firm, albeit quietly, by your convictions, right? Standing firm like a tree. Having your convictions, your wisdom, your truth, and having it guide you, like this owl. She's standing firm with a sword. She's like, you shall not pass. She wants to protect the hobbits, so she's being kind of a tyrant that way. Don't let yourself be swayed from your goals. Stand firm, albeit quietly, by your convictions. The present need is to remain calm within, firm and strong-willed, and to appear tolerant and flexible to those around you. Avoid acting as the center of attention. Don't meddle in other people's affairs. Your personal opinion has little importance at the present. Demonstrate to others once more that existing conflicts are of a passing nature. They are essential for positions to be clarified once and for all. You will also warm to the task and gain much in terms of personal development. And I know I'm developing quite a lot here personally. Waking up at 5:30, being asleep by like 9, usually at latest here. Working for a few hours a day, physically laborious stuff for a couple hours. Trying to get in the rhythm of this, trying to stay in rhythm with my fiance. Whoops, I just put the card back. I should probably keep it out so I can reference it in a bit. You could tell. I got a lot, even like that rainstorm. It's like, it'll come and go. But my God, when it's dumping, it's hard to hear, it's hard to think. And we can't resist it. We have to just kind of go with the flow. But that doesn't mean it's always easy. It can be overwhelming. It can be troubling. It could cause you to lose your sleep. Potentially even. So the stone we're getting for today is aventurine. It's that puppy. I love how they, there. Well, I was going to say, I love how it's just getting darker. That doesn't matter. Whatever. Good thing I'm not a cameraman, eh? Maybe you guys don't even see the differences, but on my, like the image that I'm looking at to see what I'm doing, it just got really dark, and now it's light, and it's dark, and all that kind of stuff. So, aventurine, what it is, and you can quantumly entangle with this. You don't have to own any. You can just gaze upon it and know that it exists energetically as a form in the universe. What it is, shimmering aventurine, the, quote, good luck stone, right, very Pisces sun, Pisces and Jupiter. It's like it's good luck. Is a translucent green quartz containing particles that create a glittery effect called, appropriately, aventurescence. Its heart-centered, happy-go-lucky vibes are a reminder that this life on Earth experiment is supposed to be fun. Who needs it? Melancholic inhabitants of ruts and funks. Anybody with a side hustle. Where to put it? In your pocket on poker night. Wink, wink. Wherever you encounter people, places, and things hell-bent to bring you down to gutter level. When to use it? When you find yourself in a crisis of confidence and it's time to wake up, clean up, and re-up your shine. Just like those queens. They're like, it's time to take it seriously and move forward in my kingdom. Show off your sparkle. So I think the idea today is sometimes the wise thing to do, right? The wise thing to do is to show off our sparkle even in the storm. Doesn't mean you always have to be loud about it, right? But like knowing that this too shall pass. Staying rooted, right? There's a reason some trees next to riverbanks, they have deep roots and they weather the storms, hurricanes, whatever, flash floods. And we're guided by our spirit, our higher intelligence, your higher self. You're protected by more than that on the earth, her halo or bubble or like almost a space mask around her. You've got weapons to use. Moon and Aries, you can actually do actions. But I think right now the idea would be to, it's like a samurai. Have a sword, but use it when necessary. It's like you're walking in the jungle at night or, the Japanese forest at night. Have your sword ready, but don't just be like, I have a sword and like thrashing it about in the dark. You might hurt yourself. You might hurt an animal or a tree or a stranger. So you keep your wits about you. Stay fluid and intellectual. Stay fluid and grounded. Knowing that the storms of life, the eclipse of the light will pass, just like that. You heard it earlier. It was like one of the most torrential downpours for 20 seconds? Nothing crazy. There's a wisdom even in that, holding your ground and kind of keeping your wits about you and showing off your sparkle with aventurine. We can shine in the darkness. That's what the whole point of being a light worker is. It's not being... When everybody's on fire and if there's a million suns in front of you, like a nuclear bomb, ironically, if there's a million suns, one candle doesn't make a shit of difference. But if you're in the dark cave, that well-placed candle cupped by your hand so the wind of the cave doesn't blow, like this, she's using her head like a torch. It even has a flamish looking coloring next to it. If you're keeping your candle light in the darkness, but also guarding it a little from the elements and the wind and stuff, it's so much more visible. It's like a star in the sky, right? And that's what light workers are for. We're here for the darkest time to be the light in the dark. So never forget that. I'm reminding myself that it's like this too shall pass, just like the rains that you just heard. It might be intense for a second, but it's feeding the plants. It physically has to release the moisture. It's just a process, right? Sometimes it's just science, if you want to put it that way. It just is what it is. Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. But we can dream big thoughts, Jupiter conjunct the sun in Pisces, and we can make actions that really help our dream come true while also creating the space to help others' dreams come true. It's not me or you. It's us together walking each other home forever. And I just saw these kids run to the bus stop. So they're running each other home to go to school. And this little dog yipping as a guard dog, very Moon and Aries, right? Very Saturn and Aquarius. Like, I am the border and I will hold the fence and I don't discern who you are. I will bark at whom I don't know. So hopefully that makes sense. Holler for readings if you want. $33 for an hour of tarot and oracle cards. $88 for 2 or usually more like 3 hours of astrology. You'll get 101 in astrology for an hour, and then we'll talk about your chart specifically. So basically you become a mini astrologer. yourself. I equip you with this Gemini life, 11th house, sun and moon, Gemini. I want to help you with it. I want to teach you, so you don't have to kind of always be like, oh, I have to listen to this one person to understand everything. There's value in finding truth in reflections, right? So I listen to astrologers, and I listen to Christopher Tecking, the Leo King, and Kai Pacha, and various astrologers. That's pretty much it, actually, at this point. But you can do this too. Some people have the shine, in a sense, like music. Anybody can play the guitar, but some people are more virtuoso. I was gonna say rock stars. It's not about rock and roll all the time. Some people are more virtuotic. Some people are playing just DCG and hammering out those AC/DC songs, or Bob Dylan. But anybody can do it. So holler for readings. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. We're up at 270 episodes ish. I think 270 some odd, and it's an amazing situation. It was never even my intention to have a podcast. Raphael, my co-host, was like, you talk a lot, and he's a Libra and I'm a Gemini, and let's just talk and have fun. And many interviews with many different types of people later. Here we is. So check out the podcast. If you would like to leave a tip, feel free. And I hope you enjoy your Freya's day. Adios, amigos.